Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Jason Mackey's First 10, a quick hit podcast to get you ready for the day. Today is Monday, July 22nd, and we've got an awfully busy week around here. Steelers camp starts. Players report on Wednesday. First workout is Thursday. Pirates just won a series with the Phillies, had a chance to sweep, couldn't quite get it done, but still three big ones against the Cardinals at PNC Park this week. Have some soccer in town. Liverpool and Real Betis on Friday at Acrisure Stadium, and the Olympics are starting. Obviously not locally, but we have some entrants there that we've been writing about and will continue to write about. I'm going to talk about the first couple things on that list in today's episode. But before we do that, I want to remind you that we're sponsored by the North Shore Tavern. You don't have to be a baseball fan to love it there. The interior is wall-to-wall Pirates. There are appetizers, entrees, cocktails, and of course, steak and seafood on a sizzling lava stone. Open every day. The North Shore Tavern across from PNC Park is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. So hopefully you've seen from my coverage by now, and I'm going to veer off a little bit because I didn't tease this part, but I did want to talk about it. The Jim Leyland Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Congratulations, obviously, go out to the former Pirates skipper. I was up there, very brief trip, drove up Saturday, drove back Sunday. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody into planning travel. It'll be nice today to not have a 7-hour commute to work. But in any case, I was happy to be there for it and write about it. I wrote about both Jim's speech, which I thought was outstanding. It was the perfect mix of humor and directness and all these things that make Leyland great. And also, obviously crediting who he needs to credit and a little bit artistic too. The line was, my contributions to our beautiful pastime pale in comparison to the joy it has brought to my life from the heart of a little boy and the soul of a man. Leyland actually explained afterwards that was something that he workshopped with his family. His son, Patrick, had a lot to do with it. Just a special event. I had never been up there. Well, I had been to Cooperstown for Jim's personal tour, but I had never been there for Hall of Fame weekend. Very cool. Tough thing to cover to get, access to much and whatever. But I thought I was happy with how it came out and talked to some people who were close to Jim. So please, if you have a minute, check that out and talk to Lanny Fratteri, John Wayner, Bob Walk, about what it meant for them to be there. But there was a whole host of people up there. Clint Hurdle was there for Rockies and Todd Helton ties, probably more so than any Pirates stuff. Former GM of the Pirates, Cam Bonifay, was there, chatted with him a little bit. But just happy for Leyland. I thought he crushed the speech and neat to see him celebrated. So again, check that out at post-gazette.com. All right, going to talk about some current Pirates stuff, which I think is extremely interesting and necessary right now. I went into this weekend against the Phillies hoping if they take one of three, they'd be fine. Take the first two. At this point, yesterday was house money, right? So what? If you got a chance to sweep, that's awesome. If you take 2 of 3, not a big deal. And that turned out to be kind of what it was. The bats went to sleep. Hard to really get into the minutia of that one. I'd rather talk about Friday and Saturday and some lingering thoughts I've had about those games. The first one, a lot of resilience and an impressive performance from the Pirates. And we waited around on Friday night and talked to Rowdy Tellez. And I thought what Rowdy said was important. And he talked about some conversations that have sort of been had by young guys and some perspective being shared about focusing on right in front of you. If you think about the big picture, you get all jammed up. Just think about that day right in front of you. And it's not a revolutionary concept, right? But I think that teams, when they have that idea, when there's somebody there to sort of set that standard, that's a very good thing. And the Pirates are in that place. So I liked seeing what I saw on Friday, them being able to come back, not really thinking, get down early, immediate answer, all that stuff. That's the good side of that one. The bad side is Martin Perez. And we've talked about this. I know Noah Hiles was on here last night. That was one of his takeaways from the series. And it's one of mine as well. But I'll probably go a step further. To me, it's make or break for Martin Perez on Wednesday. He's going to start the series finale against the Cardinals. You don't come back from that. I'm a little surprised they're starting him on Wednesday, to be honest with you. But I suppose you're entering the trade deadline, trying to figure out what your rotation looks like, whether Martin Perez fits or not. He would be grossly overpaid for a bullpen option. And I'm not sure that's the best route you can go. But if you can run him out there and have him enjoy a strong performance and, maybe shop that around right before the deadline, that would make a lot of sense to me. I would otherwise be against trading from starting pitching. I just think it's too important, but it's an interesting start. And if it doesn't work out with Perez, I'm not sure how you come back from that. I got a couple more things I want to get into Pirates-wise. Want to talk a little Steelers as well. First, going to take a short break, though. Have our usual video from Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Hope you enjoy it. Talk to you on the other side.
Embrace the laid-back charm of island life while sinking your toes in the sand and discovering real, authentic Florida in the Bradenton area. Unspoiled beauty and pristine beaches, a vibrant waterfront downtown energized by local arts and culture, fresh Floridian cuisine with a flourish of rich history, and friendly locals ready to welcome you to this preserved paradise on Florida's Gulf Coast. Plan your visit today at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
All right, welcome back to First 10, and thank you to the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau for that sponsorship, as always. The starting pitching, we've talked about it a little bit in this context, but I think is a very important part of what the Pirates do in the second half. Not only is it starting pitching, and it's always going to be important, but they need to be able to give Paul Skeens the necessary rest, probably Bailey Falter, Jared Jones as well, guys who have, Falter is going to zoom past his innings limit when he gets back. That should be soon. Jared Jones, when he gets back in August, is going to be coming back for an injury. From an injury, you're not going to, want to risk anything there. So anyway, you need quality starting pitching. Right now, I look at what they have: Keller, Skeens, Ortiz, Falter, Priester, Gonzalez, Perez, and Jones. That's 8 names. You're not going to have 8. You need to eliminate 2. I would be using Priester in a different role than they are, but I guess I sort of understand what they're doing. Kind of a bulk guy, kind of a tweener starter, find some places for him. I've liked what I've seen out of Quinn, and I'll be curious to see if that usage doesn't increase. And by the way, the Luis Ortiz trade talk, can we stop with this? I've been asked about this a few times, if he would be a trade candidate. Absolutely not. Luis Ortiz is their number 3 starter right now, at least as long as Jared Jones is out. And he's been outstanding. 7 innings of shutout ball on Saturday, 0.73 ERA in the games he started. I want to see more. He's in my rotation. I'm good with it. Last bit that I want to hit on is something Ben Cherington said on his radio show yesterday, talking about how they need to essentially be ready for all opportunities. I think I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but they're staying open-minded around the trade deadline. And I think that, to some degree is probably lip service, or maybe it comes off that way. But I see where Cherington's going with it, in that they need to be prepared for, it's not just buy a bat and that's it. Again, Martin Perez, if he performs well on Wednesday, doesn't have a lot of value to them as a middle reliever. Does somebody want to bite on that as a start? I don't know. I find it a little hard to believe, but they should be open to it. They should certainly be exploring those options. I might even be convinced on Marco Gonzalez if somebody was able to offer the Pirates anything for those guys. Michael A. Taylor is another one that I think about. Austin Hedges last year. I mean, every little bit helps, right? If the Pirates can get a single A flyer of a prospect, maybe he becomes something. I don't know. The Texas Rangers were willing to trade for Austin Hedges last year. He didn't hit a lick, but at least he could defend. Michael A. Taylor hasn't hit, but he has been able to defend. All right, don't want to run out of time here on Steelers stuff, because we'll obviously be ramping up that discussion quite a bit. I want to pitch Jerry Dulac's 1974 story, basically the year that changed it all. We're going to have a series of stuff coming out in this vein. Brian Batko has a story that I've read a little bit of about what happened in camp and sort of the shades of that season, looking through some archives. I know I've talked to a few former Steelers about a very important part of that draft class and a part of those 70 Steelers teams. And there's probably a few more, but those are the ones that I know about. And just some really interesting content, 50th anniversary of that. There's going to be a lot to celebrate. We did the same thing, back in April around the draft, but this was obviously a pretty important year in Steelers history. I'm selfishly pretty excited to go out to Latrobe in this capacity. I've obviously been out there, but it's been more in a one-off. You're going to write the fan story kind of thing. Never really a regular part of Steelers coverage. So this will be fun for me being out there as a columnist. Hopefully I'm able to get out there quite a bit, but I am going to be balancing things with the baseball team being as good and interesting as it is. and the Steelers and everything else that is happening around here. Pitt starting up as well. Crazy to think that we are almost at that time. So again, I had some other Steelers stuff I'm not going to get to. We'll save it for tomorrow. Thank you for watching. As always, make sure you like and subscribe. You can get this video and more from the rest of our Post-Gazette writers and columnists. And yeah, talk to you guys tomorrow.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.